Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to FPL Jedi Show Deadline Stream, where we're going headed to Game Week 31, featuring Burnley and Everton who played twice this week. Would like to invite my co-host Azmin to the show. How are you, brother?
Good. Ready to go?
All right. So, like everyone know, we are back from international break. Everyone is excited. I'm excited. Azmin excited. I'm on wildcard. Azmin might not. Will reveal my team later. And we definitely want to run through all the team news. As we know, there's a lot of important news that we are looking at, especially on the fitness of the likes of TAA, James, and other assets like Ramsdale, who is also popular that people would like to know, so that they can plan for this week transfer. Let's go to the stream for tonight, which is we're going to walk through our game week 31 fixtures. We can see the early kickoff main. Your
Yeah.
team, Liverpool, will play with Watford. A lot of people want to know TAA salah condition. Then at 10 p.m. we have like five matches: Brighton versus Norwich, Burnley versus Man City, Chelsea versus Brantford, Leeds versus Southampton, and then Wolves versus Villa. We end up Saturday with Manchester United versus Leicester. I think that's a big one at 12:30 a.m. We then go on Sunday matches where we have West Ham versus Everton, Spurs versus Newcastle, and then Crystal Palace versus Arsenal. Crystal Palace versus Arsenal is actually on Monday night. Then we close out game week 31 with Burnley versus Everton on Wednesday night. So that's the fixture for game week 31. I think let's jump straight into the news of Liverpool and Watford mean. That's a big one for us to know.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yep, continue.
Okay. All right. Okay. So obviously we've had the story with Trent. We don't know it was an international break or injury. It was just management so that he wouldn't play with England. Obviously. But from the looks of it, it may not have been. I'm not so sure. So I mean, it's still for one moment it's that he's already in full training, and now he said he's not. But now apparently he only joined full training yesterday. So let's see what we do. Although I'm not quite confident that he will start, but it's a huge risk if to not have him if he does start because he will definitely do well. At the same time, we're aware that Liverpool do play Benfica in midweek, so it's how Klopp manages his squad. Okay, so other than Trent, as featured in the tweet, we know that Kita was released from international duty because of a knee problem. So I would say that he's definitely out, even though Klopp said that we'll see how he is for today, but he's out. So we know that Robertson and Milner both had illness as well, but they recovered, so that's fine. So Liverpool pretty much are mostly have the full squad extra for TAA Kita. So possibly TAA is out, and we don't know, and Kita. But other than that, it's a good squad for Liverpool. Watford on the other side also have a almost fully fit squad to choose from. Watford also had some players involved in the internationals, but no issues in terms of injuries. So yeah, it should. The early kickoff looks like it could be explosive for FPL picks.
All
The
right.
just to highlight, so of course there was also this worry about whether or not Salah will start, and from the looks of it, I think he will. I don't see there's any risk of him. We know that Salah and Mane were both involved in the that controversial Senegal Egypt playoff in featuring lasers. But I don't think it was a problem. Both came back early and came back on time, no delays, and both have been in training with no injury issues. So I don't think there'll be a fatigue issue either. We've seen Salah is quite a robot, so as long as he's training and he's fit, then he should be fine. We know that. So just one thing with if you remember the last, which was the AFCON final, yeah. So we felt that the only reason Mane didn't start was because he was celebrating the cup. Yeah, whereas qualification for World Cup not so bad.
All right. How about Watford, Min? Do you think that the likes of Dennis and I don't know King, Pedro or Cucho will start this game and they will have like a full squad?
Yeah, so for Watford, yeah, as we know, Cucho, is that how you pronounce it? Yeah,
Yeah, Cucho, yeah.
he's definitely more informed than King, yeah, who we've pretty much forgotten about now. So yeah, so King and Dennis should start, and Sar as well. So yeah, other than that, yeah, I think yeah, but it's really not the time to bring in Watford players.
Okay.
At the same time, I feel that Watford are already in that stage where they need to pick and choose their battles. Yeah, and this Liverpool match looks like a throwaway for them. This, they have to look at other matches. For example, game week 32, they play Leeds. So they would think game week 32 they play Leeds, game week 33 they play Brantford. Two matches which I feel they would think that they need to look at getting points from there, and rather than exerting themselves too much against Liverpool.
Okay, good. I think with the news that Klopp mentioned that TAA looks like he already involved in training, full training, and so on, there's a chance that he starts. People like me on wildcard, I guess I need to keep TAA instead of replacing him with the likes of Cancelo or Robertson.
Yeah. So the last bit on TAA is just that
I can
just the exact quotes were,
see.
physically he should be fine. It's about rhythm. I don't know how you translate that as you will. Yeah.
Okay, let's go to another match, which is Brighton versus Norwich. Both are not so popular among managers, but Brighton did going to double in game week 33. So there's some planning that people will look at. So the latest news, man.
Okay, so for Brighton, yeah, pretty much the same players are not available from previously, which is Webster, Lana, and Caicedo, who we don't really look at anyway. But it's just that it's the fact that it's the same squad as previously, and we know that Brighton are run on bad form. So basically, not much is changing. So the issues with Brighton are still there. For Norwich, there's a few issues, which is Ozan Kabak, who's out, and now very likely. I think Josh Sargent will be out as well. I'm not sure he's going to be ready for that. But the fact that Brandon Williams was also out, and we know that Brandon Williams has featured in the back four for Norwich quite regularly. So him out becomes an issue. However, if you really wanted to be different, and for Norwich, then if you think that Norwich is going to fight, then Timo Pukki is available. And again, like
Yep.
Watford, I feel that Norwich are going to have to start looking at which matches they can focus on trying to get points from. And I feel that Brighton, who are in such a bad run of form at the moment, I think they've lost their last 6 matches in a row now. So I think Norwich would try to target getting some points from there. But of course, it's a huge risk for you to pick a fantasy player from here. And if you were to pick someone, only Pukki would stand out. And we know that Pukki is on decent form. In the past 3 matches, he's got 2 goals and 1 assist. So there you go.
Yep. At 5.8 some more. So it's definitely one
Yeah.
to watch. Next one, we go to Burnley versus Man City. Definitely a lot of people are eyeing for Burnley asset, especially. They've doubled this week. And Man City, who a lot of people want to get Cancelo in. So what's the latest news for both teams?
So the biggest thing for Burnley is that Ben Mee, as mentioned in the tweet, is still out. And for me, this is big because obviously he's quite important to their defense. And as a result, it's going to be a problem. Yeah, and we know also at the same time the person who previously replaced Ben Mee, Nathan, which is Nathan Collins, is suspended. So that means Kevin Long will come in, and you're effectively looking at the third choice, Burnley centre back after me and Collins to partner Tarkowski. So this is gonna, it could be very bloody for Burnley now. Um, for the City side again, this, okay, the biggest thing is that Diaz is out, so that means Stones should come in, and we know Stones
Yep.
is quality as well, so no issues there. So the only issue is in terms of the international uh, players involved in the internationals. Okay, for example, Mahrez took like so much time for Algeria, and at the same time they also got Algeria actually got knocked out, so they're not going to be in the World Cup. So, and the fact that Mahrez played so much time there, so I don't think Mahrez will start. That's my prediction. But other than that, everyone else is there, and everyone else should be good to go. And there's also the worry about rotation, given that Manchester City play
Atletico Madrid.
Atletico Madrid, and we know that Atletico Madrid are can be very tough. So they'll want their players there. So that's the risk. I would think that Manchester City will still start with their full squad, with their main squad, but then at the same time we've seen historically uh, Pep's selection of his squad can be quite unpredictable after an internationals. There's a lot of talk on social media that Ake might start again, so that puts a bit of a risk for Cancelo starting.
Okay, good. Good stuff. I do still expect Cancelo to start, but there will be definitely Pep need to manage their squad for the next
Yeah.
matches and so on, because they are still involved in Europe and also FA Cup.
Yep.
We go then to Chelsea versus Brentford. Chelsea has a good fixture against Brentford this week, and then next week against Southampton. A lot of people, if let's say on wildcard, they're interested to bring in Chelsea asset. So, what's the latest news for both teams, man?
Yeah, so Tuchel, I think Chelsea are lucky in this respect because there's so many players so many of their players weren't involved heavily for internationals, so which is good for them. In fact, the only two people who played both internationals were Timo Werner and Kai Havertz, which is a bit annoying because I have Havertz. But the thing is with Havertz still being the Chelsea player who's in great form at the moment, I don't think it may not affect him. Chelsea themselves are also involved in the Champions League game, but I do feel there's enough gap in between, so I think he can afford to start someone and then rest his key players. Yeah. Okay, so we mentioned just now Hudson Odoi and Chilwell, so yeah, that's fine. Everyone else should be fit. I think Tuchel's words seem to indicate that Christensen, Saul, and Kepa should be fine. And just a little point to highlight, because obviously Chelsea versus Brentford looks like a really good matchup to exploit. Sarr, Christensen, James, Loftus-Cheek, Saul, Lukaku, and Ziyech did not play for their countries at all. So it's a huge thing, and it does put a bit of risk for those of us looking to bring in Havertz. I've already Havertz already, so I have no choice because Lukaku didn't play at all, so he's quite fit, quite rested. But of course, we've seen Tuchel play Lukaku with Kai Havertz before, and if Kai Havertz is in such good form, they could still start both of them. He could still start both of them together. Okay, so
Yep.
On Brentford side, so Ericsson is back. So he had COVID, but he featured. He also played for Denmark, and he scored as well. He got a warm welcome coming back to the squad
Yep.
after his heart issues.
Yep.
So he's fit, but I feel that against Chelsea, it'll still be a bit too much for Brentford, and I expect Chelsea to have a comprehensive win in this one.
All right. I actually literally saw the Tuchel punya press conference, and a journalist asked him about James' condition, and I like Tuchel response. Yep, he's ready to go, and he will be involved for tomorrow. So I think that's a clear cut
Can
that
I just
James. Yep.
oh, so can I just flash this? There's a query by Rakan FPL, Mount or Havertz, since we're at the Chelsea, we're talking Chelsea now.
Yep.
So this is a huge question. If you feel that because Havertz started both matches, Mount didn't. If you feel that internationals will play a role in deciding Chelsea's lineup, then Mount might be a good option. The thing about Mount is that he is also on dead balls, maybe not the
Yep.
penalties, but he's the best person for Chelsea to take free kicks. So
Yep.
just on the face of it, if you don't have either player, then I actually would recommend going for Mount instead. That's my opinion.
Yep. I agree. Howard slightly lower in term of ownership, like
Yeah,
7%. Mount a bit higher, which is 14%. But they both I can see differential to other manager because not a popular pick.
yeah.
Let's go to Leeds versus Southampton. Okay, there's also people thinking whether to ship out the likes of Rafinha, especially because of he's missing playing in game week 30, yeah, and disrupt people like me. So what's about Leeds and Southampton news?
All right. So the good, because we know now that Rafinha had COVID. That's why he missed out on 30. I remember the build up to that. What did he have COVID? Did he travel with the team? But turns out he didn't. A lot of a lot of misinformation on social media, to be honest. And it's something that we have to be careful about. And when it comes to early team news, so we have to be careful there. Other than that, pretty much a lot of people are fit. We have Firpo and Roberts who are Shackleton are out, but really, it's not. It's no major loss for Leeds. Without them, I think it doesn't make a impact. Is they're not really that quality players as well. So the of course, but the biggest problem is of course Bamford is now out, and it's been such a sad season for him, and I think he's pretty much this
I
season.
expect I expect his price will definitely go down, really go down next season.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, so he definitely I don't see him being involved at all this season. I think they just need to let him just fully recover. um, so other than that, yeah, they're all okay. Lorente is fine. So it's just a case of but determining who will start is an issue. Having said that, Southampton are in a bad run of form themselves. It almost seems like they're rested. But Leeds had a good outing in 33. In 30. With a last minute win, and of course, the problem is that it's not the popular fantasy picks who are scoring FPL points. So Southampton is fine pretty much. It seems like everyone is okay, no issues. So it is a question of who will start up top, where that's where all the FPL picks are. We know, as you mentioned earlier, Southampton do double in game week 33. So for those looking to plan to not use your free hit chip on 33, then yeah, you could consider Southampton. Yeah, so they play Leeds, and then in 33 you mentioned they play Arsenal, and what's the who else do they play in? I'll
Burnley,
come
yep,
back.
Burnley.
Burnley, yeah. So it's there's potential for points there, but you have to determine whether or not are Southampton already on holiday. So
Yep, yep.
which seems to be the case. But of course, when players have points to prove, some people, then they have to perform. So there's
To
only so
be to
much.
be fair, Southampton like they have options in terms of striking department. Adams and Roja is the main one, but Armstrong and Long is not that far away. I think Hunter might use his
Okay. On
His
the FP,
squad, especially in double game week.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, he has options.
yeah. But there is a concern with Livramento though, because the other guy, who's that guy Perrault, the French guy, he didn't play at all during the international break, whereas Livramento played, started for both games under the England 21 under 21s. Yeah, so and we know that previously, Hasselhoff has said that 2 or 3 games in a row is not the best for Livramentos. So there is a, I feel I personally think he might be rested for this one, which is bad because I have
All
him,
right.
so I'm yet to decide.
Fair. Let's go to the next match. Wolves versus Aston Villa. Not much love for the man in the picture, Jimenez. He will be banned for the next 2 matches, I suppose. So what's the latest news for both team, man?
So Livramento out. Who comes in? Probably Fabio Silva. I think I'm not sure with the Huang Hee Chan might start. He hasn't really been impressive. And I think he works much better if he with together with Jimenez. So we know it's Jimenez. Neves, I feel him being out is quite a significant problem. Uh, at the same time, with regard where FPL picks are concerned, we know that Wolves don't have a game week 33. So if you don't have chips, this might not be the best uh, time to bring a Wolves player in if you need to plan for the future, unless your squad is beefed up elsewhere. Wolves
Villa
don't have,
also will blank in game week 33, man. Yeah, both team.
yeah, that's right. So moving to Villa, so it looks like Digne might be ready to play. Not that I've sold him, so it's not an issue uh, for me. But other than that, yeah, we everyone else is okay. Seems to be all right. I don't think there are any issues. But again, as you mentioned, that with Villa not playing 33, if you don't have any free hit chip or or some other chip to play in game week 33, you might not consider it. Wolves, we know that their defense is pretty strong, and they are playing at home, so it's another issue. But of course, some of us who have Coutinho, uh, Ramsey, or from game week 30, yeah, you'll probably still play them anyway.
Yep, agree. Let's go to the next match. Manchester United versus Leicester. There's some interest, especially both will play double in game week 33, man.
Yep.
So what's the latest news for both team?
Okay, so Manchester United again. That slacker Cavani, who I feel he's already out. I think he's already retiring. It seems like he's always injured, and he's not available. This time he has a calf injury, so it always feels like ever since Ronaldo came in, it feels like he's just like content to just chill out. So he's injured, so he's out. As we know, Greenwood isn't available as well for whatever reason. Uh, but other than that, they pretty much have a strong squad. Um,
Yeah.
so Sancho, Fernandez should start. Okay, just a little bit of news, and this is something that we need to look closer to the deadline. Nothing's been confirmed yet, but there's a rumor that going on that Ronaldo has tested positive for COVID again. So we need to, so we're still trying to verify this. Um, but it is something bear looking, because obviously for some of us who may plan that we know that Manchester United have a double in game week 33. If you're looking to bring in Ronaldo now, this well, hold your horses, wait till nearer the deadline so that we confirm this, because it does seem that news is filtering around. I can't show any sources at the moment, but it appears that
Okay.
Cristiano Ronaldo may have COVID, which is weird because unfortunately this is unusual, because this will be the third time if I remember correctly, that he's contracted COVID. So, but it's something to bear about. And let's say he does, then you need to plan what Manchester United will do. So if Ronaldo is out, then they could play a false nine. And this is where Bruno Fernandes might be a great pick if he starts. Yeah, because we know that as an attacking midfielder, he's totally free from defensive, well, mostly free from defensive duties. He could do really, really well as as a false nine,
Yeah.
but listed as midfield. So that's something we need to track closer to the deadline. So watch and wait for that. Okay.
Okay.
So
Leicester, man.
okay, so for Leicester, yeah, Fofana looks like he might be ready. He should be out, but the biggest problem is that uh, NDD is out for the rest of the season. Apparently, he has to fix his medial collateral ligament (MCL). Yeah, so he's already had surgery as well. So definitely he's out for the season. And I feel this is quite important for because NDD as the defensive midfielder, I think that's gonna burn Leicester's defense somewhat, and it's quite critical considering they're also involved in the Euros, a conference league. Okay, so other than that, Jamie Vardy, of course, is fit. I think with Jamie is not fit, and I think with Jamie Vardy, it does feel like age is catching up to him. It looks finally catching up to him, and I think Rodgers needs to plan for the future without him. However, it does mean that either Nacho or Daka could start, but given using by form based on form alone, I think Nacho will start. No issues with Barnes or Madison, which returned in game week 30, and I think with Madison being able to recover a bit more during internationals, I think he should be fine from that back issue that they previously had. Leicester
Yep.
have a double as well in game week 33.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So definitely we could look at that because
Uh, yep.
we know that Manchester United's defense has not been great either. So it could be worthwhile picking a Leicester player.
Yep. Just share contrast between two teams. Manchester United is already out in Europe competition. We can safely say they will feel stronger side every single game until the end of season. They're still in top four fight. Unlike Leicester,
Yeah.
like you mentioned, they're involved in Europe Conference League and so on. Leicester is pretty much safe or mid-table position for this season, and they might focus in that competition. That's the difference between these both teams. Okay, let's go to West Ham versus Everton. There's some love, I suppose, for Everton, I said, uh, because they doubled this week. But both will be playing away first with West Ham, then Burnley. So, what's the latest news for both teams, Min?
Right. So for West Ham, we know that there's an issue with Bowen, and to be honest, um, Moyes seemed to contradict himself. So he said that it says here could make the Everton game, but match fitness is an issue. But then he said, I'm not quite sure both of them are match fit. And ready, that's my only concern. But at the same time, we need to win the next game. So I'm not sure if he's referring to this game or the Europa League game, which happens midweek. So
Yep.
it's getting crunch time for West Ham, but we do know that West Ham they're pretty decent handling internationals. It doesn't seem to
Yep.
have affected them, so much.
Can I say that it could be a great achievement? They are now in top last 8 in that competition, Europa League, and
Yep.
the winner of Europa League will have a place in Champions League for next season. Correct, Min?
Yes, that's
So,
right.
looks like maybe West Ham already lost touch in terms of fighting top 4 currently in the league. Spurs, Arsenal, and Manchester United maybe have the upper hand. So maybe West Ham has a decent chance going through Champions League through this competition.
Yeah,
They should prioritize this.
definitely, because especially if you look at the teams left in the competition, so we got West Ham, Lyon, Braga, Rangers, Barcelona, Frankfurt, Leipzig, and Atlanta. So Barcelona really is the biggest team left, and Lyon is Lyon is ever since PSG arrived, Lyon has just not been in the fight as well. And let's not forget West Ham knocked out Europa League regulars Sevilla out of the competition as well previously. So so it's so after that winning match against Sevilla in the round of 16, I think they really think they will fancy their chances, and I can see them diverting a bit more effort into the Europa Conference League now. I think many pundits were expecting them to get knocked out against Sevilla last week, but last round of 16, but that didn't happen. So yeah.
Yep. For Everton, man.
Yeah, so Everton, yeah, a lot of interest. Well, I don't. It does seem to be there's more interest in Burnley assets rather than Everton, and that seems to be driven by the fact that Burnley also have a double in game week 33, whereas Everton don't. But anyway, this Calvert Lewin, he didn't really get involved in the international, so he had more time to get himself fit. So it looks like he's good. So I expect him to start. So we know that as per the tweet, Townsend is out, Delph is out. Now, so the question really is, sorry, someone suspended the Allen is suspended.
Oh,
Van der
wow.
Beek is also he's recovered from illness, but I don't expect him to. I'm not sure whether or not he'll start. He was seen on pitches, in training pictures. So it really is now about whether or not you think Everton have the stomach for the relegation battle because they have not been doing well. Having said that, they did win their last game
Yep.
in despite going down to 10 men. So it's I think it will be goal with a
Newcastle.
DCL assist. So
Yep. Newcastle. Yep.
so if they can push on from there, then I think they have a chance at winning in this one. Okay, for FPL picks, for those of you, so West Ham have had this problem with their left flank. They seem to be conceding a lot from the left flank, and I'm not sure from the right flank. Sorry, so we know that Richarlison plays on the left side of Everton, so there might be some
Okay.
FPL possibility there.
Yep. Yep. Not too sure whether to spend big on Everton asset, but there's a risk there, especially. But people looking at like budget enabler like Gordon lah, the most obvious one.
Yeah.
I had Gray last time. So I spend other my fund to other place. I feel Everton need to show some form before we can really deep into it, especially for the likes of DCL and Richardson. But if let's say you already have him, then I think it's a keep.
Yep.
Next one, Spurs versus Newcastle. Okay, Spurs will have some decent run until the end of the season. They in top four a fight. So there's a lot of um, picks that they are looking at, especially on Kane. So what's the latest news for both teams, Spurs versus Newcastle?
Okay, so most of Spurs' key FPL assets are fine. So Skip and Sessegnon, who are not going to be available for game week 31, so they might look for game week 32. And I think that if those two are back, then for the on the Sessegnon side, then those who have Reguilon might worry a bit because Sessegnon that's where Sessegnon plays, and he did do well previously when he was in that position. So in terms of internationals, for once Kane didn't start England match. He started one and got rested and didn't play the second one, so he should be fine. So no issues with Spurs players. Yeah, so that's it for Spurs. Go on to
Right.
Newcastle.
Yep.
Yeah, so for Newcastle, we know that Dubravka had issue and Shah as well. So based on that tweet, yeah, both of them are fine. Other than that, it's still the same people who are definitely out. Callum Wilson's definitely out, and who's the other guy?
Trippier.
Um,
Trippier.
Trippier is out. So the question it revolves around Alan Saint Maximin. So whether or not he's fit. So it does seem that he's not quite ready. Based on Howe's quote, okay, I'll just quote it verbatim. Whenever a player has some time away with injuries and injury illness and injury, it's very difficult to get them back up to speed straight away. So this break has been very good for him. He's trained very well, and we're excited to see him back. So that kind of tells me that he will start, but it's tough. And and the problem with Newcastle is that they don't have a good run of matches for now. So maybe it might not be the time to pick Newcastle players if you don't already have one.
Yep, agree. Last but not least, Palace versus Arsenal. Arsenal really are in good form. They are really in the fight for top four. They are favourite to actually take this spot. And then, but then Palace also is in good form. So it's interesting. So what's latest news for both teams?
Yeah, so the biggest thing with Palace is that both the wingers, Ollis and Zaha, are not yet training. But because the match is on Monday, so there's still a decent chance of them. I think there's still a decent chance of them recovering in time for the match. And these two players are quite key as well. So let's see how we go with them. But other players are pretty much fit. So your popular pick Gallagher should be fine as well. So this London derby could be interesting. The fact that it's on Monday does, I think, it makes it more possible to have a good high-scoring match if most of the injuries have enough time to recover. And specifically with Arsenal, so Saka feeling good, training today. He still qualified it with the word hopefully. But again, because it's Monday, then I do feel it's been enough. So the problem now, of course, for those of us with Ramsdale, he still hasn't trained yet. So it really depends on his recovery. We'll try, let's try to find out what information we have.
What do you what do you make of these notes by Arteta? It's a doubt, it's not finished. Do you feel he will be available on Monday?
I don't know, and it's I've been trying to find out information on this. The fact that he hasn't trained yet is a concern, and of course the problem with it is that in Leno, they have a really good, decent enough goalkeeper. So if they don't want to risk Ramsdale, then they'll play Leno. We saw Leno play in game week 30, and they did win against Aston Villa away. So definitely, I think that there's Leno has a good chance of replacing him. So I'm not feeling good about my Ramsdale prospects. Other than that, in terms of the other injury issues, I don't think Arsenal have any serious issues. Tomiyasu could be involved, but I don't think he's a pick, and I probably won't start. He probably just get a run out. So then it becomes a question, assuming that Saka is fit. So it's a question of who's not going to play between ESR, Martinelli. Again, that same old issue. And I do think ESR will be on the bench again because Martinelli is just more explosive.
Okay, I understand, but see how Arteta see in mind, because to be fair, ESR is actually an important player to him for future. He actually handed number 10 to Smith Rowe, so he needs to manage that kind of expectation to this player also. Ramsey is a concern. I can see here a lot of players, especially from me who is on wildcard on Ramsdale. I'm not too sure what to make of this. Will he be out more than this game week? Also, I'm not too sure, right? So that's it. If let's say he's out for one game week, then there's a chance I'm keeping him and just play my bench. But to me, not too sure, right? So I'm not sure how to approach this.
Yeah, it's a problem, but let's just remember that Arsenal are in good form. So if you have your players, you probably still want to play them.
All right.
We'll see.
Let's go and dissect on top transfer for this game week 31. The most transferred in, so far is Robertson with 201,000 managers picking him in. I suppose for the other person who's the most transfer out, which is TAA. Like we know on the news of he injured before international break. I think the clear cut managers cannot stand enough and just take him out and bring in Robertson. Next one, Havertz, the most second transfer in, 174,000. He's on form, to be fair. International break also scored, I think, 2 goals. Then the third one, which is Wet Horse. I think the very like to like replacement. If you have Jimenez, easy to come in. He plays double this game week. He plays double in game week 33. So I don't know. That's an easy decision to manage, I suppose. 153,000 managers have bring him in. Saka, the fourth one, with 134,000, and then Cancelo with 132,000. So we can see that kind of trend. In terms of transfer out, TAA
Yep.
the most that transfer out. Jimenez, the second one, obviously because he's suspended for the next upcoming matches, are only available in game week 34, which 32 sorry, is it 33 good, which Wolves will not be involved anyway. Then Bowen, Coutinho, and Ramsdale. Okay, for the
Yeah.
obvious reason, maybe he's doubtful. So what you make of this traffic, man?
So this comes to mind another question that was on the chat, which was sell TAA, and it looks like a lot of people are doing that. So I mean, for me, I would hold off from until nearer to the deadline, because don't forget that Liverpool Watford is the first match, so we may get enough information by then. But not surprising that Robertson is the perennial pick to a replacement for Robertson for TA, because he has been in good form. In fact, even better form than TAA in the past few weeks. Everyone, yeah. So for me, the biggest point here is that it's surprising. Not surprisingly, there's not a lot of love for the double gamers this time around. Only Weghorst appears as a popular pick for this round, because we've known all the disappointments with Burnley, Everton in previous double game weeks. So a lot of people expect Saka to be fit and play, and a lot of people do seem to expect Cancelo to play as well, which is interesting. Just coming back to Cancelo, coming back to Manchester City. So there's another point raised in the chat, which is Walker being suspended for the first leg of the Champions League. Could be this the reason for Pep to rest Cancelo? So this definitely means that Cancelo will play in the Champions League match. So the question here is whether or not does that entail Cancelo being given a rest? It's possible, but I think we still need to remember that City are still fighting to win the league as well. So if they but Pep has had history of putting out odd sides in after international break. So yeah, I think it's possible. Uh, just have a the good thing is with Pep, Pep doesn't do a lot of substitutions. So if Cancelo doesn't play, I think it's unlikely that he'll come in. So I think it's safe that if you do have him, field him.
Yep.
Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, so just a quick one. Jimenez, no surprises that he's being transferred out. He doesn't play until until game week 34. Yeah, he's suspended for the next two, and game week
Yeah,
33
right.
will go. Yeah, so obviously he'll be kicked out. Yeah, so Coutinho being starting to be sold also is a bit of a surprise, but I guess they're trying to fund the likes of Havertz and Saka, so they need to make room. Plus, again, like Wolves, Aston Villa don't have a game week 33.
Okay. Ramsdale is the fifth or the most transfer out. If we need to replace Ramsdale, who the obvious replacement? Do you feel?
Well, given if people who are not looking to free in 33, then Pope becomes the pretty much he'll play 5 games in 3 weeks, 3 game weeks, and yeah, Pope won't be benched for any reason, of course, because he is the best keeper and they are fighting relegation. So Pope does seem to be the best option.
He's a bit
Otherwise,
pricey though.
yeah,
5.4.
yeah, he's not cheap. So at that price, I don't know if you want to consider just bumping up to Edison.
Oh, that's a big one, 6 million.
Yeah, because it's just that with City, we're so worried about the um, rotation elsewhere and quite unpredictable. So Edison is at 6.1, so it's quite expensive, but we know he'll start, and you expect City to keep a clean sheet. Having said that,
Yep.
City do play Liverpool in game week 32, so
Yep.
it's a huge risk there.
Okay. Right. I'm just worried if, let's say, the likes of Pope, we already mentioned, will be out. I'm not sure how long. So that will diminish his prospect, I feel, in terms of clean sheet. That's a worry.
Yeah.
Right, man. I think let's go to our team picks. This is your team from midweek show. What's your plan?
All right. So based on the arrangement alone, you can tell that, I mean, I'm pretty much sticking to this arrangement in the sense that I'm not sure that TAA and Jimenez will start, and at the same time, it's hard because now that I know that, based on the information about Livramento, he may not start this one. So I'm probably going to uh, sell TAA for James. That's what I'm looking at the moment. Uh, Ramsdale, I'm going to leave there and hope he recovers, because if Ramsdale's not around, then Foster will come in. Although I mean, I could end up with a negative one there, but well, I'll just have to grin there because they play Liverpool. If it gets 0, I'll be happy. I'm not going to be too fast. So TA for Kansas. So that means, then, do I take a hit? If I do that, do I take a hit to replace Jimenez as well? So as you can see, I already have Havertz, so I have representation there for that Chelsea midfield decent matchup against Brantford. So the only thing here is that I don't have a representative for Manchester City, so that's a concern. And I can't buy anyone from Manchester City by selling Jimenez. There's no forward replacement there, so there is a big question. So if Jimenez replacement, I am actually either looking at Richarlison or Weghorst, but I'm not too fussed about. I'm not too keen, and because I already have 2 double gamers there, I don't know if I need to invest in a third double gamer and try to look a bit more forward. I am looking at Norwich. I know it's really a dark horse thing because I'm basing it on the fact that Norwich really need to start getting points. We know I mentioned Pukki being in good form, so of course if there's a Norwich player I'm might bring in, it'll just be Pukki, and Jimenez for Pukki does free up some more funds as well if I needed money to invest elsewhere. So those are the lines I'm looking at the moment.
Right. I think if you bring in Jimenez for Weghorst, you will have like 3 players in double game week. It's more than average managers would have.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yep. So, but if I'm in your position, also I'm not too sure whether to overload them. That's another concern. I'll just roll my dice. But you certainly have the advantage to go to, I mean, pretty much ahead from others. Because if, let's say, you pick Weghorst, then he play, like you mentioned about Pope, 5 matches in 3 game week. So there's always prospect. The good thing is Burnley double this week. In 32, they play Norwich. Okay, they could have some decent chances to goals or assists, and then doubles again in 33. So they could be excited.
Yeah. I just want to mention as well that actually between for Burnley players, I do like Weghorst, but sorry, not Weghorst, Maxwell Cornet. I do like Maxwell Cornet a lot more. It's just that just trying to I don't I'm annoyed that Jimenez is the problem right now, because if Jimenez didn't have an injury issue, I would probably sell Ericsson and bring in Maxwell Cornet.
Okay, understand. Then let's go to my team, man. I'm on wildcard. I made some tweak after hearing the news. So
Yeah.
this is my wildcard team. I still have Ramsdale in goal. Okay, I'm not sure about that, but Ramsdale there. TA after that news, I think I'm keeping him. Then I
Yep.
have Cancelo, rep from Man City. Then I have James because Tuchel said he's ready to go. I'm a Chelsea fan. I feel I think I have burned a lot from James points before this. I think this is a great chance for me to get him in, especially on wildcard 6.2. It's more exciting than likes of Rudiger and Silva. Then in midfield, I have Saka. He's not going anywhere. Kulusevski is still there. Havertz, I bring in him because of his form and the next two matches, Chelsea versus Brentford and Southampton. He could easily deliver. He's the main man so far. I can see he's playing, but I'm not too sure. Okay. Salah, I bring him back. I actually transfer him out in game week 30. And then Gordon as my enabler at 4.5, he plays double this week. Then Horse, the obvious reason he plays 3 games in the next 5 matches. And then Kane. On my bench, which I'm looking at to bench boost in game week 33, I have to manage my budget because my team value is not so high. Before this, I have Dubravka, but I decided to downgrade him to Foster at 4.1. I actually upgrade my striking department. Kucho to Broza, he has double in game week 33. Then White has double in 33. He's chip enabler in a good team at 4.5. And Sa, I still feel after the news, he might make it. He will have some decent matches in double game week and easily keep both clean sheet. So that's what I'm right now, man. Any comment for my team?
How many double gamers do you have at the moment for Game Week 33 based on this one?
Game week 33, yeah. Ramsey will play double. Saka will play double.
One, two, three.
Gordon,
Veghorst.
no. Wait, Horse. Then I think 6 player, Broja, White, and Sarge.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I think that's quite a good representative. And of course, you will have 2 free transfers leading up to that,
Yep,
so you might
yep, yep.
increase it even more. Yeah, I think honestly, yeah. So Manchester City again. Cancelo, you're comfortable that he'll start, so I think that's fine. James, yeah, James definitely will make list. Havertz, yeah, I know what we said, what I mentioned earlier, but because he's in such good rhythm at the moment, it doesn't make sense to bench him. Uh, uh, Salah, I guess we'll know closer to the deadline whether or not he'll be rested. I don't think he will. I think he'll start as well. Saka, as we know, he should have enough time if he had still any issues to recover. I think it's pretty much strong squad as it is, and and you can always you probably have later on to bring in like
Yep.
Martinelli for
Uh,
the double game.
yep.
Yeah.
I share my dilemma. I
Yep.
have point 1 in the bank. I cannot easily upgrade Ramsey to Pope if I want. So I'm not too sure
Yeah.
what to do with my ni. I'm not sure whether I want to go down to Sir Michael or maybe Pickford. I'm not comfortable. So what your advice?
I look. Yeah, Pope is the popular option, but I just don't like him for now. But I have to accept the fact that my point of view is the fact that I know that he won't, because I will still have my free hit and wild card, so I can, you know
Yep.
so it's not a big deal if I don't bring Pope in, because for game week 33 I can free hit and bring him
Yep.
in if I need to.
Understand?
Yeah,
Okay.
but you are using a wild card now, and so I think that Pope might be a good option. I think, yeah, if after this week, I don't expect him to get that many points this week, but for long term hold, then Pope might be the option for you to go.
Okay. So if I want to do that, I need to free cash somewhere. Before this, I have Kucho instead of Broha. Broja could play double in 33 against Arsenal and Burnley. Not sure about how his prospect, but I actually have a look at other wildcard draft from other FPL managers, the likes of Sam, who's actually wildcarding, other than managers who actually propose some options. But looks like Broja is the popular one.
I
And
don't know why it's the most
hmm,
popular one, honestly.
it's the
Because
cheap one lah. It's the cheap one lah, and has maybe more secure in terms of minutes of playing.
honestly,
So
if I were, if for me, I would probably go Cucho instead, simply because obviously for
okay,
this week
okay,
it's not a favorable matchup, but
okay,
but but at least he has been in goal scoring form.
okay,
Um, he didn't he let's okay, in the past three matches he scored 3 goals and an assist.
okay.
Obviously this matchup is not great, but after that I think it's better. And the thing with Broja has been really poor. Um,
Okay, I understand.
yeah, I think let me just check. I think in the last 6 matches he hasn't got any sort of return. Yeah, the last 6, and this is not just against. It's against Manchester United, fine, but it's also against Watford, Villa, Newcastle, and Norwich. So he hasn't scored against all these sides. So that's why
Understand.
I'm not that great about Broja. Yeah, so there you go.
Okay. So there's chances that I make some move in terms of Broja. That is the one thing that I really need to decide before it will affect other options that I will do.
Okay, so
See,
can I just quickly bet for you for Cucho, to campaign you for Cucho? Which is the other thing, because okay, so from this draft you're also benching Broja for this week anyway. So
yeah.
then you might as well have Cucho, because this week is they play Liverpool, and then you can field him after that.
Okay, understand. Okay, Broja is actually another good bench if say the likes of Harvest did not start. We won't know. So at least I have like good bench to come in. TA might not be able to play. Could be. Cancelo could be rotated. At least
Yeah.
I have White to come in. I'm not sure about Shah. The other option is Shah to Connor Roberts at 4.4. I still have point 0.1 for him, but I don't know. I have the feeling of Newcastle at 33, which is double game week. I think some good matchup. Forgot
Yeah, yeah,
who.
yeah. I think it's the decent matchups. I think they
Yeah,
play
both at home. Both at home.
less. No, for 33 they
Palace
play
and Leicester,
Leicester.
right? Palace and Leicester, right?
Yeah,
At
Leicester
home.
both at home, and no,
Uh,
you're right, because let's face it, Newcastle's defense has improved significantly. So definitely, I would consider them. What was the other option that you mentioned earlier?
Roberts at Burnley
No,
4.4,
yeah, I,
which is
I definitely
which
go
is
for
he
Newcastle.
plays double. He plays double in 33.
He plays double, but between Newcastle has are in much better form
Hmm.
compared to Burnley. So yeah, definitely, I'll look at. I would I would I
So
would prioritize Shah
okay.
first.
So maybe White and Shah will stay. I feel so. Okay.
Yeah,
If let's say I downgrade Boja to Cucho, I
yeah,
can upgrade Ramsdale to Pope, say. And I think I have money Foster for Dubravka, maybe. I think so. So that is the shifting that I can get, and I will have. But in the end, I can only play 3 double game week players in on my bench,
yeah,
because Watford will only have single game week, but it's not bad against Brantford. The
yeah.
thing, the thing is that what people are saying now, minutes of Cucho is uncertain because Sa is coming back. So although he's on form, he might not start 90 minutes. But we are not sure. We are not sure.
No,
He
no,
could be in 2 weeks time. He might be like a sub with 1 pointer coming in. It could
no.
be.
I don't think SAR will affect Kucho at all, because one, Kucho is in good form, and I think Kucho is replacing King rather than SAR at the moment. Yeah, so, and King himself has been benched for the past 3 matches, so which tells me that Kucho has supplanted King actually.
So maybe he could only play like 50, 60 minutes and King or somewhere else Pedro come in. That is the only possibility that that could happen. So, but at 5 million is okay, or a downgrade totally to Gerrard like 4.6 leagues. I'm not sure what's the prospect since Brentford is out for the rest of the season, so called.
Yeah.
Gerrard might actually have minutes, or maybe he starts. I'm not sure what's the condition currently for him in Leeds United squad now. I could go that road, get 1 million, and have money to upgrade, say, in 33, like Gordon to Martinelli or Kulusevski to Barnes, because I have money. So that's
Yeah.
another possibility.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something to consider. Yeah.
Yep. So you favor Kucho over Gerrard?
Well, I favor Kucho over Gerrard. Yeah,
Okay.
because I'm still uncertain how Leeds are going to line up. If Rodrigo starts, then could Gerrard might not start, and it didn't never seem like a first choice yet. I think he's being groomed, but I don't think he's ready to be a regular starter.
Okay. That's my team currently, man. So
Okay.
I will finalize my team soon. The core I think is there.
Yeah.
And I just need to finish up my final touching in terms of we definitely not going to get any news more from Ramsdale. So we just need to decide based on whatever Arteta mentioned yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty much about it, man. That's my team.
Okay.
So we can pick up the questions.
Okay.
Some
So I'll
other
just
questions.
run through quickly. Uh, Let me see. Okay, so we've answered a few already during the course. So best replacement for TA, James or Cancelo? For me, it's James. Hafiz?
This a quite a tough one. I will have everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
James or
But who do you
Cancelo.
like a bit more over the other? Or
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
think they
I like Cancelo better.
okay.
I think his min is much better. He's actually in the best team in terms of defense, and he's also more attacking.
Okay, so right, the rest of the season, Son or Kane? Yeah, I think Kane. I think he's in touch now, and I don't know if he still wants to try to race for that golden boot again. He does seem to be firing up again, which is just nice towards the end of the season. Plus, Spurs don't have any distractions. So between Son and Kane, if you have the money, I'd go for Kane.
Yeah, Kane also another point to say looking forward in 32 Liverpool versus Man City. Most probably we won't captain any of those team, and Kane will come into picture against Villa. So that another thing that is good and asset for captain next week. So that I can see.
Okay, so Foden versus Bundy. Yeah, it's risky, but it could pay off, and I would
Yeah.
probably say yes.
I think yes if you have the money.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So here's an interesting question because we haven't really talked about it. Hold or sell Antonio versus Everton at home? I probably hold, right?
It's tough one. If I don't have any other fire, I'll change Antonio to Red Horse.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It will save some fun. Yeah.
Okay. Um, if playing game week 34 is good to take -4 from 31. So I'm assuming for this one you planning on bench boosting in game week 33. I think it's fine. Yeah. So that's
No, if I'm playing wildcard in game week 34, man, which is the same thinking like you. Okay,
yeah.
he wants to wildcard in game week 34. Is it to take -4 uh, from 31 to 33, and then maximize my BB? I think in 36 code, right?
No, because if he's taking hits now, the idea is he's maximizing his BB to in 33. Because if he
Okay,
if
all
he's
right.
if he's maximizing his if he's doing a BB in 36, then game week 34 wildcard will take care of it.
So,
So
Rakan FPL, I think your plan is BB 33, wildcard
yeah.
34, and then free hit 36 could be lah his strategy. Yep.
Okay. Finally, could Everton turn things around from game week 31? So I, as a holder of Everton assets, I'm not confident myself. I really don't think Lampard has what it takes. So I'm really not confident. But obviously with I already have DCL and so I'll definitely play DCL and Keane this week anyway. But yeah, it's tough. It all depends on what they did during the international break, and they might get points, but it's going to be a struggle all the way. But they do have extra matches, just like Burnley, so it's definitely doable for them. Just win 2 matches, and I think they're there.
All right, I understand. I would love to see what will happen in game week 31, and then we'll think again how Everton asset will be, because Everton will definitely have more double game week coming up. They have like 2 fixture more to be rearranged. They might double soon after 34, so that is something that we need to look at. But this is the audition part lah, 31. Okay, to see who's that can actually put us into thinking lah, the likes of Richardson DCL, or maybe there is no other asset in terms of Everton team.
Yeah.
All right, man. I think we come to the end of the show. Okay, pretty much I would like to remind managers the deadline will be at 6 p.m. today. Okay, where Liverpool with Watford will kick off at 7:30 p.m. So that's the deadline for game week. This game week. Okay. For our viewers, thank you for supporting us. Okay, please hit the like button and subscribe to our FPL Jedi YouTube. Okay, so to ensure that you receive notification where we are streaming live. Your last one, man.
Yep, that's it. All the best. Again, let's accept the fact that rotation will play a part now. Wait for injury news towards the end and especially about Ronaldo there if people are interested in bringing him. And again, as you mentioned, deadline is earlier, 6:00. So make sure you got your transfers in by 5:30. Okay, that's it.
All right. Okay. Last word. Happy fasting to all Muslim, which I think tomorrow. Okay. So
right.
we're going to the next 1 month of fasting. I think we're still going to continue as normal, right? I mean, regardless of how many. Okay. We'll try to plan our time. Could be the slightly different off time. We'll see. But last word, all the best. Okay, to everyone. It's a crucial moment for the next 8 game weeks of the season. I think this is the exciting time. No hold back. It's time to perform. That's all. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.